If you came here yesterday, you wouldn't have a place to stand. It was a chaotic and a dangerous scene that looked like a war zone. Policemen were firing at innocent protesters, and their simple crime was that they demanded that this footbridge that has become a white elephant becomes useful for commuters to prevent the needless death. And this was triggered by the death of an innocent young girl of the West Africa Senior High School, which is just across from this busy and 60-meter wide highway that connects Accra to Eburi. Today, we will talk to residents who live in this area, shop owners, who want speed ramps constructed in the interim to prevent needless death. The accident happened in the full glare of everybody who was here because it happened in the afternoon. There was a lot of activity ongoing when the accident occurred. And residents and commuters here tell us the lady was left lying for many minutes. We were told over 20 minutes before the police were called. So I moved in to talk to one of the shop attendants here, and this gentleman has a wood shop. Sir, good afternoon and welcome to City Newsroom.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is called Nixon Ofosu.
Were you here yesterday?
I was here.
What did you see?
Around 4 p.m. when this thing happened, the lady was just crossing the road. Then suddenly the car just knocked her down. In fact, she was lying there for the past 20 minutes and there was nobody there to pick her up. We went in and called the police. The police came in and they were even still standing. There was nobody.
Did you see the body yourself?
Yes, I have evidence here that shows that the lady was lying there. You can see it for yourself.
That's this, yes, I can see that.
Yes, she was lying there for the next 20-30 minutes. And she was breathing and nobody was able to pick her up.
Why? But how about you, the residents? Were you able to move her from the main road?
Everybody was shocked about what happened. So we were trying to do that. Maybe we pick up something. All the cars, if you can even see, there's a car standing by. But nobody is willing to pick because of the blood.
It's a solemn atmosphere here. Yesterday, young Kasim left this house and she was going to school. The plan was to go to school and return home on her own. Sadly, she had to be returned home this morning, or rather this afternoon, by the ambulance behind me. A sad incident that occurred and which has left a whole community in mourning. You can see in the background people who are sitting here solemnly, and the adua would be done shortly before the burial through Islamic rituals would be carried out a little later on. The member of parliament for the area who was mentioned by the uncle there, also Minister of State Alhaji Abubakar Boniface Sadiq, is also in the house. Let me just walk over and speak to him briefly. Honorable, condolences. It's your constituent that you've lost.
Yeah.
Is this a family that you know? Is this a home you've come to before?
No, it's a family I know, and they are my friends. We are family friends, and it's rather unfortunate that this incident has occurred. But it's God who knows best. We have been in the forefront fighting for the completion of the bridges. Finally, it's occurred to us. But all we have to say is that this is a child who had gone just to register. She's on the gold sector group. And she went and registered just to cross the road and come home. Then she met her untimely death.
There are people who hold the view that, of course, God has his own ways, but again, it was also the fault of human that we saw what we saw yesterday. So people would say that the politicians should take the blame.
We agree in a way, but this is something that has happened.
Let's move on to some other stories. And Parliament's Special Budget Committee is raising concerns about the level of publicity associated with the upcoming referendum on the creation of new regions. Now, the concern came up at a crucial meeting between the committee and the Electoral Commission. The referendum for the carving out of the regions is slated for the 27th of next month. Here's more on that.
The Electoral Commission is rolling out a roadmap towards the referendum for the creation of 6 new regions. The Special Budget Committee of Parliament, which has oversight for constitutional bodies such as the Electoral Commission EC, summoned the Electoral Management Body to brief the committee on their state of preparedness to conduct the referendum. According to Deputy Ranking Member of the committee, Frimpong Ado, the committee raised some concerns with the process so far leading to the referendum.
We had a couple of them, especially with the publicity, and they assured us that they are marshalling all resources to embark on massive publicity for 10 days, which is very normal. They say that's what they normally do. And number two, about we had concerns with the limited registration, especially with the online registration. They explained that because they were doing it at the district level, where there was internet connectivity, they didn't face much problem. And especially with the exhibition, they said it was flawless. They went through it smoothly. So once they have assured us, I think we should take them by the word and then move on.
Now, the Medical and Dental Council appears poised to end the operations of quack doctors in the country as it has arrested yet another suspected fake doctor at the Asamoah Clinic in Abelemkpe. The arrest of the suspect, identified as Alote Ado, brings to 11 the number of illegal health practitioners arrested so far in the country this year.
A complaint was lodged yesterday with regards to a gentleman who was operating a clinic by the Asamoah Clinic without the requisite license. So upon such information, police proceeded to the premises, and then we met one Dr. Alote, and he was invited to the station, and then investigation started.
The suspect, on the date of his arrest, had on admission a patient placed under IV. According to her, her family have been patronizing the services of the suspect at the facility for some years now, but never suspected he was operating illegally. She was subsequently evacuated with the assistance of the National Ambulance Service to the emergency unit of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. The suspect, upon interrogations, admitted he was not registered with the Medical and Dental Council, although, according to him, he had medical training at the School of Medical Sciences, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, and completed in 2004, after which he did his housemanship at 37 Military Hospital.